Right. Gigi, it's great to have you on the podcast today. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, I'm really well, thank you. And yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on because we connected through a mutual friend, Jara, who
Yes.
she makes lots of mallas and bracelets and earrings that you're wearing now. Yeah. They really
Beautiful.
they really suit you. And we kind of like deciding on a topic to talk about like happiness,
Yeah.
which I think is a really important topic. And that it doesn't cost anything really, happiness, when you think about it. We've all kind of got the ability to make people happy, to kind of give that energy, if that makes sense. And I think it's a really important thing in life.
Yes. And we can't make anyone happy if we're not happy internally. Like my own story, as a reflection of how did I miss this feeling before? Because I was seeking my happiness through jobs, relationship, friendships, or locations. But once I start tuning in, I just realized that the happiness actually really, really starts within. But it requires so much acceptance, so much darkness first, like so much you have to go through deep down and accept all these. Oh my gosh, I'm judging too. Oh, I do this as well. Oh my God. I was like, now I know why I was picking on this, because I have the same as well. But the thing is, it's kind of like layered with me. Like when I start discovering this, the people who doesn't do that start irritating me. So I was still judging though. Like this was still growth, but still judgmental periods. Once I pass that as well, then I start feeling, oh, okay, maybe that person in that stage, I should just continue my path, allow them to talk, allow them to be around me. But I was able to start my own bubble to protect myself, because I shift my vibration higher, but accepting they're not where I am right now. Maybe they're gonna get, or maybe they're not gonna get. So it's their choice, or it's their choice, and their anger, their toxic mind, their preferences, or what they don't understand is nothing to do with me. So yeah, I'm so grateful for that growth actually, but it requires so much, so much.
Yeah, no, I really agree with you, and I think it's so important, like you said before, to kind of recognize, your energy and other people's paths, and that sometimes, other people's, like unhappiness or their situation, that's their stuff, and it's up to us to follow, what we truly feel is what makes us happy, like you said, internally within ourselves, and not, you know, getting caught up in the mix of what's happening externally or certain
Yes.
situations, which is very easy to get caught up in. But I mean, recognizing, what is it that makes you happy, and asking those right questions, like you said, because sometimes you think it's the job, or you think it's X, Y, Z.
So much distraction, so much. And these distractions could be person, could be cultural, like cultural boxes that we always have to put in, where you come from, what your religion is, what your like so many things. And I just realized that it's actually so simple to just, what do I really want? Like, how do I want to feel? When I want to feel that way, am I manipulating the people to be around me that way? Or am I with the right people that likes that energy be around? So there is a very fine line there. Some people keep you there with their money, with their fame, with their whatever that is, with their charm or beauty. Like there's so many ways. Or are you really authentically attracted someone just as a human being? Like this is not even, I'm not even talking about emotional or like a romantic relationship. And now I'm so grateful to able to say, like, just random trouble, like just randomly I'm walking to supermarkets, right? I meet 3 people a day minimum. Either they complimenting my hair or my piercing or my energy out of blue. Like seriously, I have coffee in my hand, I keep dropping things. Before, I used to be judged for these things. I used to have people around me used to be like, oh, Gigi, come on. And I used to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't, yeah, if you were on time, you wouldn't blah, blah. And I was like in a mode that like I have to always explain myself, blaming on myself. Now people like, oh, that's funny. That's, and I think, yeah, I'm like that, you know, like it's same thing, just because I know who I am now. And I know like, and I just want people who loves me the way I am in terms of like energy. And if you're not liking it, off you go. And if we all can manage that, seriously, people will only have their own energy kind of people, and whatever they judge, they're gonna be judged back. So they're gonna kind of learn that toxic, it's kind of like mirror, you know? So I'm so grateful I have that mirror in a different way, that I have so much love, like animals, people, right people, I say, like right energies. And it's coming back to me like floating abundantly.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that's so true. And I think, like, when you talk about energy and, like you said before, like you would say drop things and things like that, and people would, kind of criticize it and things like that. And I think, like, that is just a reflection, really, of, what they're kind of feeling or thinking. It's not necessarily, the reality of the situation. It's kind of their view. And, when you talk about energy and connecting with the right people, it's so important to do that. And like you said, you're connecting with the right people now because, you're aware of this. And, I think when you put yourself into that vibration, you're then going to connect with, those kind of people, which I think is super important because, like you said, you mentioned like culture and things like that, that can kind of mold sometimes, oh, this is the way things are meant to be, or this is like, the story of how life is. And it's not always the way. You kind of have to find your own way and find your own energy and your own people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to give you one example of how I end up where I am right now. Like where I am right now is I always wanted to live all my life. Like I had a very good job. I used to live in Dubai. I had beautiful friends. Obviously, not everybody was my cup of tea. I wasn't everyone's cup of tea either. Like I had some people that had to live my life much, much earlier. And I wasn't able to see that. Like I was not able to let it go because I was stuck. I was stuck in the mindset of what do I do wrong? Or like I was not able to see that maybe that was just a transition. Maybe we were in our life to teach something to each other than being forever together, because my mind was somewhere else. And because of COVID happened, I put in the situation of either I had to go back where I was from, or I really didn't know what to do. I knew what was my desires are, what I wanted, what I really, how I should feel, what should my hair look like. Like I wanted to have one side longer, one side shorter. And that wasn't fitting in the box that I was in Dubai. And when I start becoming myself externally first, together with internally, because I start taking the classes I wanted to take, I start working with 2 amazing, beautiful coaches. So I was investing in as much as the out. So I start working out with amazing like personal trainers. They start becoming my friends. And I was like, wow, I become one of them now. Like those things that I used to just watch online, I become one of them because I start accepting to outgrow the life that I wasn't fit for. Like I was trying to stay in that life that I wasn't even fancy. It wasn't for me. It wasn't authentic. So then I end up deciding, okay, you know what? I'm gonna kind of like risk And then a family member really supported me so well, unexpectedly. I was so blessed. This is the biggest example of when you believe where you're supposed to go and you just want to be there, you don't know how. Universes really give you that option, but not the way you imagined. Like I would have imagined probably other ways, getting another job, or but I didn't know it was so many other ways I could be here, and it just happened that way. And definitely removing those invisible barriers, or you're in the prison but you have the key in your hand. Those pictures, visuals, we all seen those visuals, and I think they're so true. I had the key in my hand, door open, sitting inside that prison golden cage, like a little hamster, fluffy hamster, running running inside and trying to go out while the cage door was open already.
Yeah, no, it's so like true you mentioned, and I think like when your experiences, like you said, we have the key to what we want to actually do. And you said you was working in different places and like Dubai and was around certain people, and it's really kind of finding what I admire about you is you're finding your own feet and you're doing what you want to do. You're recognizing what it is that you want to do on your path, and you're taking those steps to kind of find your way, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
And like
100%.
and you've been through these different experiences where you was in Dubai, in different relationships, and like it can be very difficult to follow your own path, like I said, because there's so many people saying you should do this and that, and that's what I admire about you, and in your carefreeness in everything that you do. And like I said, and like when you talk about people and friends and role models, especially, you mentioned like personal trainers and that self-care as well, and then them becoming your friends, and these things are all possible, aren't they, really? And you're now in is it LA? You're in LA now, and you've kind of
Yeah.
gone on this journey. And when we first had a chat, you told me that you used to live in the UK, and in like not too far from me, which is kind
Yeah,
of
visit,
crazy.
actually. Visit long term, like
Yeah,
visiting. I
there was
used
there
to
for a
visit.
while visiting, and then you've come back to and it's just amazing, the experience that you've had and the journey, the path that you're on.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like the way you hold on to your dreams too. Like when we chat about you, that's one of the things I wasn't sure when you first messaged me. I wasn't sure like what you do. Obviously, I went back and I kind of start listening, and I was like, oh, he's actually really talking about in my frequency.
Mm.
And because I've been trying to bullied, like somebody is trying to uh, offer me a podcast, but it was
Yeah.
actually a scam.
Oh,
So I was not
so
sure.
bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's so bad. And it was using someone very famous name. And it was so
Mm.
like interesting way. And
Mm.
then I was like, how universe is testing me, because universe is giving you different kind of messages. First, universe wants you to be aware, like ground yourself.
Mm.
Second, universe is testing you. Have you learned your lessons, honey? That's what it
Mm.
says.
Yeah.
Test you, yeah. So this test can be in different ways. Are you still materialistic? Are you still believe everything you see? Or even though you don't, do you give chances? So how you balance this? How you
Mm.
believe, but also how also you give a chance. Like because
Yeah.
most people after bad relationship or losing their job or they do a mistake, they can't even forgive themselves. So
Mm.
how you gonna learn from your experience if you're gonna try to bury those things under the
Mm.
ground, use other materialistic things, like try to get a higher level job but doesn't even pay good, but you just want to look better, or you
Mm.
divorce with somebody and try to cover up with someone looking better in your mind, or friends get a new, you have zero connection, but on social media you look happy, or everything is amazing, but you never dig down, you never worked on your own issues, and you keep repeating the same cycle and cycle. And that person, it doesn't matter what other things about that person. What matters is how that person actually feels internally, right? So that was my biggest gift in this world, because after I'm losing everything, all the losses I gone through during pandemic, my job, my life, getting away from my beautiful friends, I'm making new ones, new connections, obviously failures along the journey. I don't even see them as failures anymore, because I see them, wow, I'm so bright now. I can see they're not for me. Thank you. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. No, it definitely makes sense. And I think, like you said, with COVID and how it impacted your life, and you changed friendship groups, you changed where you live, changed what you was doing,
So many times.
and I think sorry.
Since 2020 October, I've been as a nomad. I've been living as a nomad. So I haven't, until now, I haven't able to rent a room, kind of start settling. It's almost a year I've been
On the
having
go.
different journeys, different experiments, volunteering as a yoga teacher, or doing other things as a vegetarian chef, like different skills that I have. I just had to learn to make my living, or if I couldn't make my living, exchange for accommodation or meals. And it was the most beautiful experience I had, because I met amazing people. Like seriously, Jara is one of them along that journey. And through her,
She's
I met
awesome.
you right now. See how it
Yeah.
goes.
It is amazing. It's amazing, like you said, like with the journey of life, and how, like you said, the universe throws challenges in our way, or throw obstacles in our way, and it makes us stronger, and it allows us to realize, what it is that we want to do. And like you said, you're meeting amazing people along the way, and it's all it's all part of the experience of life, isn't it? I think if you don't learn those lessons, then they will repeat themselves, and you have to recognize that. And that, and it's kind of staying true to yourself, isn't it, along the way, and pursuing whatever's in your heart, and what listening to yourself, what's whatever's telling you to do what it is that you want to do, and try and take that leap of faith and trying different things out. Like you said, you tried different jobs out, and you've moved different places, but along that way you've been gaining all this experience and meeting amazing people. And it's almost like that kind of butterfly effect, isn't it? Like you met
So
Jara,
much.
who's a good friend of ours, and we connected, and we're having this chat, and it's all these different events and synchronicities of life, where you've gained so much experience, and you can tell other people about your story, and how far you've come and where you're at now. And
And it's
that
just
visit,
the beginning.
yeah, and it's just the beginning, and all that resilience that you've gained, and that growth in that time. And I think it's I think sometimes we can't always see it when we're going through it at the time, but when you kind of look back, you can kind of realize and put all
We do
the
have the
difference.
messages though. Like we do have the messages when we don't see. It's
Yeah.
in our subconscious mind. And if you really truly connect, like tuned in, even though you're not understanding what's happening, like my coach she become my friend. She used to say some stuff, and I used to be okay what she's saying, but now I understand after 1.5 years, and it doesn't irritate me anymore, thinking this is just the beginning. But at the beginning, I used to irritated me. Used to be like, oh, all this pain is just the beginning. Seriously, like what
Yeah.
else I have to go through, or But now I'm so grateful. This is just the beginning, because I feel only abundance of different experiences. And I also learned, I hope this could be a mirror with so many souls, that
Mm.
people will always judge us. People, like you said, people will
Mm.
always say, why you do this? Why don't you do something proper? Or why can't you save money? Or why you didn't do this? If you did this, this wouldn't happen. To be honest, 1 gram single, I don't regret nothing I did.
Mm.
because I was able to blessed to be guided with beautiful people, like you're one of them right now, by sparing your time to me. That means I did something to attract your intention, because you do a beautiful job, and somehow whatever I did or whatever I post or whatever I said, you wanted to spare time for me. This is a blessing, right? And there are other much more different opportunities or different connections, beautiful things will along the way for you, for me, for most of us who are tuned in. And also really learning judgmental minds or manipulative minds. If someone is judging us individually as per individual, I'm not talking about as I or you, I'm talking about as an individual. Is that person speaking through their wounds and toxic things that they can't get away, and they secretly jealous of your own power, and they see that potential in their subconscious mind? So they don't want to put you down. They don't do this consciously, but they just can't handle it because they're not that deep yet. They prefer to be in shallow water. So by trying to take you up there where they are, you're losing your power. You're losing the depth you're going. So that's the moment we need to realize, oh, okay, you know what? No matter, regardless of what's the bond with these people, I have to let them go. Stay. They should stay where they are in that shallow waters. You gotta keep deep diving down. But it's not that easy to understand it, because manipulative energies are making you feel guilty about yourself first. So you start, what did I do wrong? You did nothing wrong. You were just being you. And if there is a pure love, good connection, right people around you, no matter what you do, they will not do that to you. They will actually try to, even they can't reach you, they still say, my hand is here if you want to hold on. I have a break. Sometimes I can't come where you are. Just hold on to me. If they're real.
Yeah, definitely. No, I really connect with what you just said, and I think, like you said, people tend to judge quite a lot, and I think it's just, not everybody judges, but I think like some people do judge, and they like you said, where does that come from? Is it like you said, their own negativity, their own resentment, their own jealousy, or like it's almost a bit like a bright light walking into a room, and their light, I don't know, for whatever reason, isn't the same kind of brightness or depth or that energy. And then sometimes, like people might try and manipulate that person or whatever, or they might try and do things to kind of dampen that down. But like you said, you have to look after your light, you have to look after your energy, and you have to maybe pull back. But if you don't, then you might feel drained, or you're not going to feel yourself. Even like you said, like along the lines, what I'm hearing is, just by not kind of doing anything, people can walk into a room and people can be funny even without you not even saying anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so true. Yeah. I
So
mean,
I think
there's
super important.
connections, possibilities, and just because blocking themselves like basics, there's so many scientific explanations and amazing mentors out there. They already explain in a scientific ways. They do a lot of beautiful retreats. So many names. There's so many professionals out there. But there's some people who want to understand those, but they need to first understand basic things, which I'm just gonna give an example. I use a pink, let's say, eyeshadow, very basic, right? People compliment, and one person can able to say, why you put pink? So this kind of energies, I don't even entertain anymore. I don't even reply. Because why would you even care? If it's disturbing you, don't look at it. I mean, I felt like it. I put it. Why would I have to explain these kind of simple things that I do want for my own being external? It's just an external thing. It's just the color, whatever I felt that moment, right? It's same thing with regards to work, jobs, money. One thing though, if we get to the point that because we did wrong decisions or mistakes and we kind of needed some support and help, that's an amazing life lesson. But then universe can gift you what someone actually really there for you to don't, it's okay, like it's okay. So no matter what you do, if you do from your heart, and that connection will definitely, something will back you up. You don't know what it is, and that thing maybe will keep changing, like maybe it will keep transferring one person to other person, then it will be maybe your own power, your own success, your own abundance, but it will get there 100%.
Mm. Yeah, no, that's definitely it. And I think, like you said, people will judge, regardless sometimes, and that's up to them. And I think if you want to wear something or you want to do your hair a certain color, then that's fine. I think you have to ultimately do what you think is right, regardless of what other people think, and to live your life in the way that you want to. And I think if you do that, and like you said, you follow through in being yourself, you will connect to people who are doing the same ultimately, and connecting with people on the same vibe. And I think it's so important to do that.
Yeah, even with dancing, for example, I do take dance classes. Depending on a dance class, let's say pole fitness, for example, it is perfect for my shoulders and my strength and the feeling. Let's say this is so open for judgmental ideas, or like I get a very interesting comments at some point, like why am I doing that, or it doesn't supposed to look like, it looks cheap or whatever. This kind at the beginning, I used to be sit down, I'm like, wow, people do have time to like that means for me, I was thinking maybe internally they want to do that too, and they kind of like, I can't do that because if I do, people gonna think about me this way. I should warn her what people gonna think about her. And my answer is always like, I don't care. Like, if you really want to do it as well. I mean, seriously, because I was so shocked with so many reactions when I start posting a couple of little bit videos. I mean, I don't even
Yeah,
post
snippets.
so much on those things, which I will in the future, because I'm working hard to create that sort of life, because that
Yeah,
I want that kind of life to be my part. Like I want
yeah,
to live that way. I want to do acro yoga. I want to do dance. Like
mm,
no, regardless of what my profession is, my career is, what am I gonna own? I'm gonna own my own businesses, whatever.
mm,
Regardless of, on a side, I'm just gonna dance and do
yeah,
whatever I can. And funny, but even men, unfortunately, like it's very difficult with men, because when students do some specific kind of like interests, it's like there's always another kind of vision in their mind.
mm, yeah. But that's it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I think you said, a lot of judging, a lot of stereotypes, and I think people don't understand. They're not living your life, and they're not in that place. And I think like with on about pole, like it's very very good for fitness. It's a very good
Totally.
thing for your core and your fitness. And a lot of people might see certain clips, they might see things, and they just judge and assume, oh, it's X, Y, Z, and it's not. It's and I think a lot of people are so quick to judge sometimes, and they see something and they attach something to it, and it's not that. It's they're not taking the time to ask, oh, why is it you're doing that, or oh, what are the benefits of it, or I think people just very I think small, kind of narrow-minded people tend to do that. They don't take a step back, and they
Maybe
tend to just
they haven't learned another way, maybe, I don't know,
mm,
but I can say is those kind of activities, even with man, woman, man
yeah,
has so many different activities as well, definitely has win-win all those cases. Obviously, in terms of sexuality or obviously those kind of things plays a big role, because it really shifts your vibration and understanding and accepting who you are, and femininity, masculinity, like healthy masculine. Like if you do your proper exercises, your hormones are getting aligned, and obviously you're becoming a healthier man, right? Instead of like you shedding off the sweat, but you're not just shedding off the sweat, you're increasing your whole well-being, unless you're doing that only for show off. That's another thing. So if I'm just trying to learn pole just to or another exercises just to shape my body, look skinny, and attract as many men as I can, that means it's not for like this is not what it's for me. Like for me, it's a whole
not
package.
your reason.
Obviously it is a beautiful thing once you have the perks of like, oh, that woman helped me with this or that, whatever. It's different. But internally, how it makes you feel, because are you a feminine woman? Maybe it's not good for feminine women. Maybe they have more masculine hormones or other, maybe they should choose boxing or Muay Thai or something, whatever.
Jiu-jitsu.
Maybe people like me, I should mix with this too, like, because I have a little bit of like that, like I like to use my power. Maybe I should mix sexiness with I don't know, like maybe that should be something mixed in between too.
Well, I think it's that balance, isn't it? I think we've all got that kind of masculine and feminine energy, really. And I've got, is it that kind of, you know, that karma, you know, that kind of pendant. We've all got that kind of.
I love that. That's amazing.
Like,
one of my favorites.
You know, that yin and yang, isn't it? We've all got that, you know, that balance of masculine, feminine, like, you know, even like, you know, women, like in men, and it's that kind of duality with it. And I think, you know, like you're doing it for a reason, for your health, and it's like you said, that kind of all-round package. You know, if you're working on yourself and you're feeling good.
I like being sexy. I like being sexy because it goes back to the beginning, how we talked about at the beginning, acceptance. Just tune in and find what you want to be. And I don't believe in boxes. Like, I don't have to be zero size to be sexy. I just have to find what I like to do. And if I keep doing it, that makes me feel a whole package for me first. If your whole package for you first, for each individual, if your whole package as a man, who you are, what you do, you don't need women's validation. If I'm a whole package for myself, I love cooking. I like looking after my man. I love being sexy. I like workout, but I also like to be grounded. I don't like disrespect. I'm a whole package for me, and I'm definitely not for everyone. You're not definitely for everyone. If we try to fit some boxes just because some people have things, tempting things, but we don't have enough time to go, is this an illusion? Is this an illusion to look like what I want? Or is this the real thing that authentically can happen? We need to give it time to understand and accept that, like, oh, okay, I really like that actually. And I should have to tap in whatever the people think about me. To get there is so difficult though. It has a lot of tears.
That's it. And I think, like you said, you know, people sometimes try and fit into other people's boxes, if that makes sense, of what they might kind of, how they seem to be, if that makes sense. And people then try and look or be a certain way or live their lives a certain way because they want to maybe be with someone, or do you know what I mean? Kind of fit that kind of image, whatever, for whatever reason. And I think it's like, you know, you have to follow your own path, and you've got to, if you want to do certain activities, if you want to work out, if you want to, you know, you have to kind of see and feel what life that you want. What, you know, what life do you want? You know, how do you see yourself, and do it for you, not because someone else wants you to be X, Y, Z, if that makes sense.
100%. This is exactly what I was trying to say. Yes.
Yeah, and if you're doing that, I like to think that you will start attracting people who are doing the same for themselves, and that's how it should be.
Yes, and it's so beautiful. Like, I can't explain some of my friends, they start asking me, Gigi, you glowing, and like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, honey, you are too. It's in you as well, not just me. It's just you need, I want to try. Yes, of course, just try. It's not easy to get there, but definitely possible. It's just all about us and someone that actually really like allowing people that can support different ways of this. Like we can't support with each other with every aspects of life, but each individual can support you with different things and able to ask help. That's another beautiful thing.
That's it. And everyone's on their own path and journey, aren't they? And you can help guide other people, because I think that's why one of the things of being a human being, you know, you can see other people where they are, and you probably were in their place in the past, and you can kind of see that, and you can give them advice, and you can guide them on things, you know, that are going to move them forward. If that makes sense. And I think that's how, you know, it's that empathy, you know, that be giving something back, isn't it? You know, and that's what kind of think fuels, you know, some people, you know, to give, to help others, to, you know, to serve in that way, make a difference. You know, if you can help someone kind of make that extra step, I think that's you know, really rewarding, isn't it?
When we give, we also receive at the same time.
That's it, yeah. And that's a lesson sometimes, I think, you know, like some people kind of might struggle to receive, and you kind of have to receive, you know, in order to give. You know, it's that
harder sometimes, but it's beautiful because you allowing other person to be happy and content. Like I experienced this with my flatmate today. I made them coffee, and she said, I can't give anything to you because you don't want anything, but like you keep giving it to me. Please allow me to give. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll take it. I understand. Learning to receive.
Yeah, definitely. It's really important, isn't it? I think, you know, you have to receive, you know, even like compliments or things like that. And you know, you know, if you receive and you accept it, you know, you receive more. But then it's that balance, you know. It's and I think even financially, you know, like in life, people sometimes might feel hard to receive money, you know, with some things. And I had sometimes, you know, remember my first donation for the podcast, someone donated me money, and I couldn't accept it. I was like, no, I shouldn't. And then I was like,
that's
okay.
The best.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you know, and then, but that, you know, I had to have my lesson with that. Everyone's kind of got their own lessons, haven't they? It's as long as you recognize it, as well.
To be honest, I feel like that's more than a donation because you invest your time and sharing your experience and being a mirror of self growth. People pay lots of money to coaches, so that's actually amazing gift to them as well as if they donate you. But it's actually a gift to them because someone is investing their time to lighten others. So that's something actually you deserve.
Yeah, no, that's kind of true, isn't it? No, I think now I think of it, no, you're right. And yeah, it's I think I'm so busy doing it, you know, and when I take a step to think about it, it's so true. And I think
deserve more than that.
You
deserve much more because this is the thing, like acceptance again, knowing your worth. You're not expecting, but you provide and allow the universe to provide back to you.
Yeah. No, it's
without practice.
Yeah. It's quite powerful, isn't it? It's quite powerful when you think about it. And I think it, you know, when you provide that space and time for people, that's what really, you know, really means a lot. You know, it's quite powerful when you give someone your time and energy, because you can't get that time back, if that makes sense. You know, when you open up yourself up and to be vulnerable to somebody, it's quite powerful.
We need to work on our money blockages. A beautiful friend of mine was telling me, Gigi, you have so much skills, but you have to work on your money blockages. And I wasn't understanding. And then now I realized we all do have those unique skills. Each individual has unique skills, but some of us become rich, some of us able to make money because they think they deserve it, whatever the services they provide to humanity. But if you think about it, we really all need each other. You need to drink water, we need to eat, someone needs to plant the seeds. So like we need, from like every single thing you're touching, you're looking the air, every single thing needs a human touch. Even though if they create robots, who's gonna create the robots, who's gonna make the business plan for it? We need everything in this world as a business. So we need to also accept the fact that, oh, okay, you know what, I'm not doing everything for money. Yes, money is not everything, but also we need to have that abundance to able to feel powerful, have the strength to use that abundance to spend in a good way. If you're powerful with that money energy, then you have more strength to able to spend in a better things. So by allowing yourself to accept, I deserve that because I provide beautiful services to lighten others in so many different ways, then you'll get that energy. The money energy is not actually a bad energy. It's a good energy because you're a good person. If you're not accepting, you're allowing to send it towards the people that they just want to use it themselves. If you're not going to take it, other people are going to take it and use as a purse.
No, I really think, you know, it's so true what you said, and I think it's that abundance, isn't it? And learning to have that abundance of wealth, and there's, you know, if you really love what you do, you will attract, you know, that money, and that will come with it, and that's almost like a byproduct if you're, you know, really enjoying what you're doing, and you're, you know, master of your craft, and you're working on yourself. And like I said, if you push that aside and you can't accept it, then, you know, that it will go in a different direction. And, you know, the universe is abundant, but, you know, like, has this abundance to it, and money has the abundance, and, you know, it's never kind of running out, if that makes sense.
I used to didn't understand this, exactly what you said. Used to didn't understand, why am I blocking it? You already have what you need. That didn't used to make sense to me too. I'm like, how do I have everything I need? I don't have this, I don't have that. How? Now I know why, because I was shy to accept things. People wanted to always give me some stuff or gift me, but I was so busy with giving and giving and giving. That was the blockage. Obviously, we continue giving, but learning to accept, and in the moment, you give your time to me right now, I give my time back to you. But we also have to allow what is universe is going to give after this, you know, like accept, open.
Yeah, that's it. It's so true though, and I think, like you said, you have to accept and be open-minded and open, you know, in your energy to be able to receive, you know, new experiences, new situations, new scenarios, new things happening in your life. And I think if you're not, and you don't have that energy, you don't have that mindset, then things won't open up for you, will they? Think, you know, situations won't come your way, and you have to kind of be open, you know, to the universe and people, situations. A bit like you know, walking to the supermarket. You know, you're open to meeting people. You're open to new experiences, and new experiences and people are coming your way. And it's just kind of how it all interconnects, I think.
And this one has a very fine line there, because when you meet these new energies and new people, sometimes someone could be a bit more than friendly way, or like, I start struggling to differentiate, is this for a lesson or is this something meant to be, you know, like, and then it's very difficult to be honest, but at the same time, like, honest, but at the same time not offend the other person or not get offended, because And now I learned to keep all these relationships in a beautiful connection way. And the right people really gets the message. Like, because you know when you get connected and you start kind of like sharing moments or like a little bit of day-to-day life, you know that you wouldn't want to be part of that sort of a lifestyle. It's not because you don't like it, it's just because that person born to do that and you have it. How can you approach that situation without offending or getting offended? And I really appreciate when especially men able to say, you know what, like it's beautiful, but I really want something else in my life, and we become best friends, for example. You know,
Yeah.
because you're open to understand what each person wants. But I'm sad for the people that they choose the lying or
Yeah.
like hide stuff. That's kind of sad because they don't have that personal strength to able to know what they want, so they kind of like disappear. And that's the best gift in the world to any individual, that if someone just suddenly disappears, that means they're super weak for you and you were gonna waste so much time, and you've been gifted with that time given back to you by that person disappearing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's quite crazy, isn't it? You know, like with situations and people, like you kind of, you know, except when you're open to meeting people and, you know, you're trying to read that situation and you're saying like, you know, maybe it's this or maybe it's that. You know, if you're in a relationship or you're getting to know someone and you're trying to tune into, you know, what is it that they want, you know, and I think like from what you said, you know, that communication is vital. And even if that person disappears, you know, it's just not meant to be. They're not meant for you, and that's okay. But I think, you know, it's that time and energy, isn't it, that you invest in someone and you want that back. And it's that kind of balance of it all. And if someone's ghosting or they just disappear, then it's probably,
They
you know,
have
it's very,
something going on.
there's something
They're
else going on, and we can't take that personally. But I think sometimes we can take it personally.
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. Next.
Yeah.
Next connection.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I can relate to what you're saying though. You know, it's so important, so true. But I'm just gonna round up because I need to shoot shortly. But I was just gonna say, like, where can people find you on social media and things like that?
I'm about to launch a Instagram. It's going to call Connect Within You
Yeah,
in 2 weeks. Hopefully, according to plan, it's supposed to be launched on October the 1st.
yeah. Is that a
And
place? Is it? It's a place.
No, it's just online. My Instagram is
Oh,
going
on
to
your
be
Instagram. Yeah,
all about this kind of conversations.
yeah.
It's going to be things that I write, some photo shoots, some videos, sharing the experiences, talk about a little bit of Reiki because I'm a Reiki practitioner,
Yeah.
and also a little bit talk about chakras, meditation, yoga, self growth, all other travel experiences. So all about this content. I'm going to have my Instagram soon in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
My personal one is called Dreamcatcher GIGI, but it's private at the moment, and I don't usually have time to like go through everyone to accept it because it's just my personal one. But I would, if you don't mind, when I launch my Connect Within You, I can just
Yeah.
share with you, and then you can share with your followers. So
Yeah, definitely. I'll be happy to do that. No, definitely happy to do that. And, you know, I wish you all the best and everything that you're doing. And, you know, I love what you're about and, you know, everything that you're doing. And I'm really grateful, you know, to have this conversation with you. And, you know, so grateful that we connected as well. And, you know, I look forward to next time.
vice versa. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful you invest your time, and beautiful conversation, amazing energy. And yeah, I'm proud of to be part of this time we
Yeah.
shared. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
No, you're most welcome.
Yeah.
Same here. And have a great day. And
Good
well,
day.
I look forward next time. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah.